Welcome to The Worst with Chad Austin. Another week. And today I have with me a friend of mine that actually I met through this place.
Yep.
And I got Dex Carvey with me.
Thanks, man.
And it was one of those things where I was just hitting up people like trying to get the weeks rolling, and I hit up Dex, and he was like, not this week, but next. And I was like, you fucking got it.
I'm always down for a pod, man.
Yeah.
I like hopping on pods.
Yeah, dude. So I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's we haven't got to hang out much because
I know we kind of have to go. We have to get to know each other. On this first pod.
Exactly, because like I'm fucking as much as I try to be here, I am working so fucking much lately.
Dude, I'm never here. I feel weird about it.
Yeah.
Dude. It's 12 o'clock. I guess I'm kind of a pussy. I get nervous about staying up until 2 now. But I'm 30 though.
I understand. I'm 35 and I understand it because here's the thing. It's not only because like it's just like it's a commitment to like it's you have to have it like as a mindset like, hey, I'm doing this thing at midnight, so you're
get
like,
kind of excited like I don't care. I know I'm not getting sleep. I'm bleeding for the scene. Sometimes I like being that guy, but man, when you have shit to do in the morning, I don't know when you get up now. I'm also older now. I wake up at like 6:37 naturally.
I'm up at 6:30. I like it. It's a mixture of naturally and plus I have to get my daughter ready for school.
Yeah, it's just real life shit. I'm in the same boat. I have a job. I got to get up.
Yeah.
Like so. The thing is, though, really quickly just on that, because I used to be the opposite when I was like 22. I would go to bed, even like younger, 20, maybe 25, whatever. I go to bed super late, like 5, 6 in the morning. On average, I was going to Norm's, like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And then we do comedy all night. I wake up at 1, and I had a roommate, Rick Winston. I don't know if you know him, comic in LA.
I don't know, no.
I used to live with him, and he was 30 at the time, and I was like 24 or something, and he would always get up at 6. I just was like mind blown how he did it.
It's like you're coming in and he's getting up.
Well, also, like, sometimes we both go to bed at, like, 2 or something.
Yeah.
And I still would sleep until 1.
Yeah.
And he was up at 6:30. I was like, bro, like, I just assumed he's, like, way stronger mentally than I was. I'm like, all right, I'm just not going to make it, I guess. Like, you guys just... Because he acted like there was nothing. He's like, nothing. And then he told me, though, he's like, when you're, like, hit 30, you'll understand. And then it happened. I'm like, yo, I'm in the club.
It's weird, right? Like up, you just wake up and you're like, okay, well, I'm ready to start my day now.
Yeah.
And so, like even so on the nights, even when it's like I'm here till 2 in the morning, it's always in the back of my head, like you're going to get 3.5 hours of sleep right now.
See, that's different than it used to be. Because before it was like, I'm just here and whatever happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know what the solution is for me in that case. I maybe once in a while, or I just start sacking up and I just stay up later. But I don't want to be the old guy going to bed at 11. That's also not my MO. Which I don't, I'm just at my house.
Well, yeah.
I'm having some beers. I'm watching Naked and Afraid or a prison show.
Yeah, dude.
And and because of that, I just can't be around like 30 people knowing that I'm going to be only getting 3 hours of sleep now. Like I'm not there in the same way.
No. I'm physically in the room with them, but mentally I'm not. Like mentally, I'm going over the bits I'm working on, and then I am also thinking about like, yo, what number? I'm like 15th on the lineup tonight. Like, so I'm not even gonna. I'm not going up until 1 in the morning. Okay, fuck. All right. And then that throws me off. And then, but see, the thing is too, is like, it's so much different being out and doing it because otherwise I'm probably up till 12:31 in the morning watching prison documentaries.
That's the thing. That's what fucks you. You nailed it because it's like, I should be at the mic, but I'm not. And I'm still awake. But I convinced myself though that, because I've done it. When I stay out late now, if you have to get up at 6:30 or something like that the next day, and you're over the age of like 25, unless you're just like crazy, it's gonna fuck you up the next day. It just will. And it used to not. I used to be fine.
I'm living between what right now, just a lot of shit at work, and I'm doing like 65 hours a week, and I'm going
65 hours.
Yeah, I'm going. Right now. I'm in the middle of a 12-day in a row with no day off type thing.
Dude, it's too much. Dude, all of us are we okay? Like, do you have moments like when you're stoned and you like think about all the work? Because this happens to me. I have impending doom. I literally was like, I've had panic attacks like in my head, just going like, holy fuck, like, dude, I'm in that zone. Like when I like go to take a shit now, I get excited because I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna have like 10 minutes, like be on my phone, bro. That's not healthy.
Yeah, to yourself.
That's when I watch
10 minutes to yourself. Yeah,
10 minutes to myself.
It's just one of those things, too. No, I totally get the impending doom thing when you smoke weed, but for me, it's literally been every time for my whole life. I know, like, legitimately, I know myself, and I know that I only can smoke. I can't smoke weed around people.
Yeah.
I get weird. And then I can't, and I have to smoke weed like to help me go to sleep. Yeah. So it's like right before bed. If I do it too early, then I get into a state where I'm like, oh, this is good. Yep. And then the this is good passes in like 15 minutes. And then it goes to, hey, what's that thing that you did when you were 22?
Oh God, dude!
And why did you do that? And how many people remember that? And why did I mean? And it's just a laundry. And then one thing goes to the next, and the next, and the next, and I'm just sitting there like completely dead quiet. My wife will look over me like, "You okay?" And I'm like, fine. You want to go lay down? I want to go lay down. I need to lay down. And
then somehow the next morning, I'm like, damn, I was fucking stoned. Yeah. That was crazy. That was fun. And I'm like, wait. Was it fun, though? I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, how often is weed actually fun? Is it half? Is it 50-50? Honestly, the other half, you're usually just like, you kind of like, you're going with it, and you're like, yeah, I'm just high. And somehow in your head, you're like, this is a good thing. But it's like, but I'm just like kind of negatively thought patterning into like bullshit from like middle school.
Absolutely, because like I'd say it's 70-30 for me, bad to good. And but still every single night I fucking do it. Every single fucking night, dude. Every night.
I don't know what's happening to us. I don't know. That's actually like I think that's the definition of insanity, is like kind of like doing the same thing every day or some shit, expecting a different result.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But is it just the culture out here? Like, listen, man, dude, because I'm the last one to talk. I smoke weed. I smoke so much fucking weed. It's insanity. Dude, like all day. And I went through a long break, man. Let me back up a little bit because we're getting to know each other. So just on the topic of weed. So when I was like, I started smoking. When did you first start smoking weed? It was like I was middle school. I was 8th grade.
Yeah. I think 13 was the first time I smoked.
Okay. All right. So that was the same with me. And it was fun for like 2 years. And then I had a really crazy experience. I'll tell you about it. Where I took edibles for the first time on a school night. I started getting cocky because I was like smoking on my own. I'm like in 8th grade, and I'm like, it was so fun. My parents didn't seem to like know what was up, so I'm like, I got this locked in. Like this is my thing. It's perfect. And then so I took some edibles. I was cocky. I made them myself. They're called firecrackers. I don't know if you remember these. Maybe your friends made them. It's like 2 graham crackers, and you get some peanut butter, and you just sprinkle the weed on it, and you sandwich it, and you just throw it in the fucking oven. And no one was like dose controlled. It was like I was just like. I was assuming it wasn't going to work because I'm on the forums. Dude, this is like, man, I have so much to unpack here. I'm on weed forums in 8th grade. This is back when the
forums were a thing.
That already says like what type of person you're going to be when you grow up. If I'm on like how to get stoned like in 8th grade, I was fascinated by like the science of like what type of weed to put in. So anyway, take these edibles, and I'm studying for a history test that night with my mom.
Okay.
And I'm kind of thinking like this is going to make it easier. And it was like, I don't remember what we were talking about. Maybe it was some boring shit like that Mount Olympus, some like Greek mythology. I don't know. It was at the time it was just like I couldn't understand. And then like an hour in, I started looking at the floor, and it started kind of turning into like animals and shit. Like it was like I was literally tripping on weed. Damn, and I was like, but there was no way to tell my mom. She just kept giving me more questions. It was like, next question. And I was like, I was locked in this like hyperloop. I'm like, this is never going to end. This is terrible. And then something happened where this is actually kind of gnarly. I don't even know if this is even a joke, but my ears started ringing super loud while this is happening. And then all of a sudden I was just like, I got to use the bathroom. And I went in the bathroom, and I tried to calm myself down. And then after that, I was like, I could never do this ever again. And that ringing in my ears would come back to haunt me for 6 years.
No way.
Like it broke my brain. The edibles plus history test imploded my entire. It was like a DMT death rebirth. It was kind of amazing. It was like an ego death. It was. I don't recommend that combination to anyone. If you're ballsy enough to do it, though, if you think you're that cocky, go for it. But I took a huge break because of that. I was so afraid of weed where it was, even if it was in the same room, I didn't even want to smell it because I was like, oh, I'm going to get anxious.
Yeah.
And then long time passes. I'm up in Washington where it's legal with my cousin Jesse. I'm like 27 at the time. I hadn't smoked weed since I was 15. And I was like, fuck it. I miss it. I did miss it though because there was good times to it.
Because after a while, you just remember the good times.
I just remembered the good times. And I was like, dude, I really want to do this again. And God, it was so fun. It was so fun. And it was like none of the bad stuff happened. The weird ringing thing in my ear, none of that happened. It was like I feel like I kind of like made it a bigger deal than it was. And then it was like the floodgates were open. I started smoking pot all day and all night ever since. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I got to say overall, mentally, I feel better than ever. Like, I don't feel like I've lost certain vocabulary. I don't feel like I have any sort of residual effect. It's more just day-to-day shit. Should I be stoned at the comedy show?
Yeah.
Should I be stoned at the podcast? Should I be stoned at the barbecue?
Yeah.
Should I be stoned at Christmas?
No, I
don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, I
you're
think
just
I
kind
can
of feeling it out, and like, it is working for me. No, but seriously though, like, like in the teenage years, I remember like kind of like you, like thinking I had it all figured out. I remember I had like this little like camera case, like a soft camera case, and I would carry around like my cologne and my eye drops, and you know, it's just like, and I just had it like fully, you know, mom and dad proof.
And you stashed it somewhere like under your house or something?
Yeah. It's actually side yard. Okay. Side yard of the house.
I did that too.
And so like I would go out with my friends, and then like before I'd enter the house, run off to the side yard, eye drops, cologne, and you know, of course, you know, I'm thinking back on it, of course they knew what I was fucking doing, because I'd come in smelling like fresh cologne and you know all that shit.
And it just reeks too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And but I remember the one time that I got so high that there was no way of even like pretending like it wasn't anything.
It's like
I went over to my buddy's house, and I walk in, he's like, come on to the backyard. We're taking gravity bong hits out of my pool.
Oh my God.
And I was like, all right. And I'd never taken a gravity bong hit. So he's like, all right. And it was with one of the Shasta 3-liter bottles. So
wait, almost like one that you'd put, like have it seen in an office? Oh no, a Steelers Shasta.
Just like the big old.
Yeah.
And so he does it, and I go down and I like lay down at the pool, and I rip it and I pull up, and I just remember blowing out the biggest cloud of smoke I've ever seen in my life, and then just instantly just slumped over. And then 15 minutes later, my mom calls. She's like, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up.
Oh no,
we're going out to dinner with grandma and grandpa. And I was like 15, and I just remember getting in the car, and I had this girl with me, and I was like, Mom, can we drop her off at her house first? And she's like, yeah, no problem. And we're sitting in the car, and I'm sitting in the front seat, and all of a sudden, all I remember is I just went out, and I get slapped in the back by the girl that was in the back seat, like, wake up, you're blowing this. And then my mom looks over at me, and she's like, you doing okay?
Oh, dude, it's over. Once you hear those lines, ooh.
You doing okay? And I was like, yeah, you know, it's just, I'm really tired.
Oh my God.
It was like fucking 7 p.m. It was like 7 p.m. I was like, yeah, I'm just really tired. Mom, it was a long day at school.
Were your grandparents
I had a history test, and and she was like, and she's like, do you want to sit dinner out? Do you want to?
Whoa!
Yeah, my mom was so cool about it. She's like,
"That's really cool."
Yeah. Cause, you know, she gave me shit for it later, but she's like, how about I take you home, and I'll bring you home some food. How about that?
Dude, wait, where are you from?
I'm from Palm Springs area.
Palm Springs. Oh, you're from California. Okay, that makes sense then, because yeah, I had friends that had parents that were a little more cool like that, and I'm sure you had some parents that were really cool. With it. Like, were smoking themselves.
Yeah, and like it was. I had my one of my best friends. His house was the house he smoked weed at.
Yeah.
His dad had this really wild rule where it was like, you can smoke as much weed as you want under my roof, but if I catch you drinking any liquor, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
Yeah, he was like
super pro weed.
Yeah. He's like with weed, the brain cells grow back. He's all, with liquor, it just kills them. He's like, and I want you boys. He's like, I want you boys. I want you boys to be smart eventually in your life. And yeah, and I remember one time we snuck like a 6-pack of Bud Lights into the house, and he
found it.
Yeah. I run in the front door with my jacket over it, and I like run into the bedroom, and I just hear, "What's Chad have?" And I'm like,
instantly.
Dude, the man was an ex-Navy SEAL.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, the man, like there was no way of me like ever doing anything without him knowing.
That's a badass dude to smoke weed with though in high school. Was he cool telling cool stories?
Bro.
And shit? I can't imagine. That's so classic high school.
So check this out. It would go from this, like he would smoke weed with us, and it would go from like him telling us a random story about, being stationed in Hawaii and taking mushrooms and going scuba diving.
Yeah.
And then like fucking 20 minutes later telling us about like the women and children he had to slaughter to get through this Iraqi village. And we're just like,
yo, oh, so he was in that war.
He was in multiple wars and in multiple areas that probably wasn't even, it was like,
oh,
it was
right,
like,
he's Navy SEAL.
Yeah, it was like an op that wasn't even a part of any war.
For us, it was just another September or whatever the fuck, October.
No, I mean, and we would just be sitting there like, the fuck, are we supposed to know this? And he's just sitting there.
Like, maybe he's gotten so high, he started to like leak out.
Yeah. And plus he got to the point where he was drinking like a liter of like pop-off vodka with Diet Coke every day, like a full liter. So
he was already deep
and he started at like 10 a.m. So by like 11 p.m. when he was smoking with us, he was already fucking 3 sheets to the wind, and then he got a little weed in him, and he just started telling us these crazy ass stories, and we'd be like, what the fuck is going on,
dude? Like, man, military people are so crazy in that way. But a lot of times, I'm sure you've noticed too, since you got into comedy, is like there's a lot of dudes, like ex-military dudes.
Oh yeah. Man.
I wonder what that's about. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's just like part of it. I don't know. I'd have to talk to like Jeff about this. Like Jeff Kurosawa. It's like, what makes you like stand up so much? Like, is there any connection? Because like, I don't know, man. I used to like be really into skateboard and action sports. I know Nolan Culver skates and stuff. Yeah. Like I think there is something about like finding a safer alternative to get like a little bit of an adrenaline kick. You know? I don't want to be like comedy philosopher, but I
think there is something there with that too, though, because. Like there's always been like that, like you're seeking that next level of like where's that feeling coming from,
dude? Where are you getting your adrenaline? And it's harder to get once you get older because you just don't want to get physically hurt. Like I used to like be into like dirt bikes, skateboards, mountain bikes, BMX or whatever. Like once you hit your knees on cement like at 30 years old, like you're just like
fucking hurts, dude.
Yeah, you got like scrapes on your shins. Like I don't want this anymore. When I was 10, I didn't care. Dude,
I skateboarded for so long, and even as like a bigger guy, so like even when I was younger, that shit hurt because I had so much more. I had so much more body hitting the ground, and then so as I got older, I was like, man, I'm gonna try to ollie over this curb, and I'm gonna break something. Like,
dude, I get it, man. That's true. When you're young, if you're small and kind of scrawny, it's better for those type of things. You're just like a little monkey, so you can roll off the rail or whatever. So that you skated a lot. Like, did you hang out a lot at skate parks?
Yeah. Like,
we're like the same person. That was all I did.
Yeah, skate parks, and then like like sneaking into middle schools because they had like a five stair and like shit like that, and
drinking at the skate park. Someone got 40s.
That was like my whole like high school years was like skate parks, and all the fucking. All the dudes that were trying to be like, like the Piss Drunks crew, and
dude, PD. I used to draw that on my binders when I was in middle school. I thought they were so badass.
Fuck yeah, they were.
God damn, dude. Yeah, skating was fun, man. Growing up at skate parks was interesting too, because I spent like literally from probably like 5th grade to like junior year. Then I got like a girlfriend. I was like, I gotta just get away from the skate park for a little bit. But my whole life was like every day after school, it's just at a skate park, and I don't know if that like. What that does to the developing brain, because it's not like the best. Skate parks are weird places. That's all I gotta say. I've seen the most bizarre shit in my life.
You see wild ass shit at skate parks.
Kind of sometimes disturbing. I mean, like, dude, I feel like there needs to be like a TV show like about skate parks or like shot at a skate park, shot like The Office, because whether you're like skateboarder or not, like skate parks bring up like. They hit you in the stomach, like, it's skate parks. I remember this one time I was at a skate park. You've always seen a fight at a skate park. There's always a fire getting lit at a skate park. What's your scare? What do you think's your crazy? I have so many. Like, what do you think's your craziest thing you've ever seen at a skate park?
I remember actually this one time I was there with all my boys, and there was this one dude that used to hang out with us. I mean, like the skinniest, tallest, lankiest dude, like the longest legs, and his name was Ari. And he was kind of a wild boy.
We had a crazy kid named Ari too.
Yeah, he was kind of a fucking wild boy, and he was like one of those dudes with a temper. And
it's just like RR.
Yeah.
I was scared. You didn't want to make him mad. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So like little things would set him off. And I just remember we were all at the park, and it was like, it was after dark and probably like 8 or 9 p.m. And this truck full of dudes pulls up, and they just start talking shit to all the skaters at the park.
Non-skaters.
Yeah. Non-skaters pull up and they start talking shit. And there was like probably like 8 of us there, and it was like it was a truck with like 4 just like big. Like probably like jock looking type dudes, right?
Yeah, kind of frat jock.
Yeah. And they're just talking shit. And then Ari, I mean, he doesn't look like much. He's just like tall and lanky. He's very skinny.
Yeah.
And immediately he just starts walking over to their truck by himself. He's like, "What, motherfuckers?"
To all 4 of them?
All 4 of them. And we're just like, oh shit, like it's
like Mike Vallely or something.
Yeah. It's like, so it's about to go down. So everyone starts to like kind of follow. And before we even like get anywhere near him, he just starts charging the truck. And
damn, he just
starts charging the truck. And the funny thing is as he's charging the truck, they start backing up out of the parking spot. Like they were scared. There's one guy running at them. And as they start backing up, he I kid you not, he jumps both feet through their windshield.
He broke the windshield?
Yeah. He jumped up and did like a double, like a donkey kick type thing.
You'll only see that shit at a skate park.
And both feet through the windshield. And then he landed on the hood of the truck and he rolled.
Oh, the front windshield?
Yeah. Yeah,
like a Jackie Chan movie. For some reason I was thinking shotgun.
No, because they were backing out and he was running at them. And he just went boom.
Because he's an agile skateboarder guy, he's able to jump the truck's hood. Wow, what a savage.
Yeah.
Instantly a legend forever.
Smashed their windshield in on them. Lands on the hood, rolls off. And he's like, and he just looks at him, he's like, say some shit again.
And he still holds it together.
And we all just stood there like you said, this is a fucking legend.
What did they do?
They did nothing. Off? They did absolutely fucking nothing. I think they were in shock, but they just backed it up, took off.
Did he just, so after that moment, did you guys talk to him, or were you like, was it too gnarly? You're just like, I don't even know what to do.
No, we all just went back to skating.
Yeah.
Like there really wasn't shit. Like, like a couple hours later, we, bring it up like, yo, that was fucking wild. And he just kind of like, yeah, I know, right? He's all.
And where are these people now?
Dude, you know I honestly have no idea where any of these fools are anymore.
God, dude, the people who went to skate parks are just some of the nuttiest people ever. I remember we had this one kid, we called him Airwick Kid, and he was like 14 years old. And once in a while, he'd get a hold of an Airwick, and he'd like inhale it. He's like, I get high off the Airwick. I'm like, no, Airwick Kid. And then he would do it, and he'd get really aggressive in the same way. And he was kind of like one of those like big 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you just start kind of like aggressively like trying to like take your bike, or like, yo, can I borrow your skateboard and all that shit? And just, I don't know, man. To meet someone like that in real life, like, and you like, who is this guy? And they go, oh, that's just Airwick Kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, once in a while he'll try to get high on an Airwick, and then he'll get aggressive. You gotta just stay away. I'm like, so this is just normal.
His breath smells like lavender ocean breeze. Yeah. And he gets a little aggressive.
Knock you out, and then he'll breathe lavender in your face. Stay away.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Palm Springs, man. I was just down there, man. It's got a seedy vibe.
It really does.
There's a lot of homeless people. I was hanging out. I wasn't hanging out there, actually. It sounds really weird. In Palm Springs, hanging outside of this Rite Aid. I had to go inside the Rite Aid. But just
I know exactly which Rite Aid you're talking about, by the way.
Dude, next from like a town hall thing?
I know exactly which Rite Aid you're talking about. That's so fucking funny.
It was no joke, bro. Dude, it was just open air drug dealing, selling. There's a lot of meth, I feel like.
Oh, dude, well,
why is it so big in the desert, man?
I don't know why, but it
so
actually we were like second in line for the location that Breaking Bad was going to shoot in, because
it's just meth.
It was like a production value. There was so many like meth heads walking around. They could just, but where
did they go instead?
Albuquerque, yeah. I think it's just cheaper to shoot, but
I don't get why meth is so big in the hottest areas, though. I guess it's big in the cold too.
Well, I think that just tweakers don't feel the heat anymore. They're so wound up in like, I'm gonna take apart this VCR and put it back together, and then I'm gonna go rob somebody's house to find a new VCR to take apart and put back together, that that they don't even think twice about the heat. And most of them are like walking around just like half naked anyways. And
I'll be the first to say, man, I was not a fan. I only did meth one time. It wasn't even on purpose. It was more just like at a party situation. It looked like it was cocaine or something. I know a few people that happened to. Dude, it was none of it was fun at all. I just felt like really amped up. I got very paranoid to the point where I thought people were, and I got paranoid right away.
Yeah.
I thought this whole it takes days or something. Dude, within like an hour, I feel like there's people outside with cameras. I can see them, and I'm telling people, I'm like, dude, someone put us on the show Punked. It was probably this kid Slava, this Russian guy. I think it was funny. This is all in my head. And we should just like get the fuck out of here immediately. But that went on for 12 hours, and I was like,
"Yeah,
how can you do this?"
Yeah, and that's off
every day.
That's off one line.
One line,
and you're up for 12 hours off of one line, like,
dude. And the camera people and the shadow people, it was just like none of it was fun, not for a second. That's why I just always went back. I'm like, dude, every drug that I've ever done was never as fun as weed, or a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, maybe mushrooms actually.
Mushrooms are pretty fun.
I did mushrooms for the first time on my brother's birthday this year. That was another thing. I was afraid to do mushrooms because of my bad weed experiences. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna hate.
Yeah,
mushrooms.
you're like, if I hallucinated off of eating weed, what the fuck's gonna happen to me
I
on
lost
mushrooms?
I had like hearing problems off of weed. I'm not gonna take mushrooms. I'll probably go blind or some shit. So I took the mushrooms out. Man, dude, I had a blast. I had so much fun. It wasn't even like a philosophical awakening. I was just fucked up. I was just like, man, I'm laughing. I'm kind of high. Like,
no, yeah,
great.
I remember like the very first time I ever took mushrooms. I was 17 and it was 4th of July.
That's a good time.
And like my house, I was living on my own at that time. And my house was like blocks away from where they did like the big fireworks show. So it was going to be like right in the sky, right over
perfect.
me. And my buddy had them and he's like, let's split these. And he had like a quarter. So an eighth each. It was like, the perfect.
That's a lot.
Yeah. For the first time.
Yeah.
And so we each eat them. And then I had another homie who was like, hey, I got to go pick something up. You want to go on a car ride? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So as we're on this car ride, I mean, it just starts to kick in and everything becomes hilarious.
Was it fun in the car? I've heard taking mushrooms in a car can be really scary.
It was fun. Like we had the windows down, we were driving. Okay. And then I remember, all I remember about the car ride really, besides just like driving, kind of just seeing everything like going super fast and like, was he stopped at Jack in the Box to get himself food. And I just remember how funny everything sounded. Like he ordered himself a strawberry Fanta. And I thought that those words together were the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. And so he's trying to order food and I'm fucking in the back seat cackling like a little schoolgirl because he said strawberry Fanta. I mean, and then the rest.
Yeah, I remember I had that too. It was the best. I haven't had that I look like such a freak right now, but I can't stop it. The laughter is just coming out. God, it felt so good. It felt like being stoned like in 8th grade again. Because I used to do that like back in the day. I'd be with like my friends. We were high and we're like, the whole thing was like, we cannot fuck up the order once we go in, and then it was just like laugh fest. Oh,
no, yeah, dude. See, nowadays it's like everybody, like fucking, I'd say like 70% of the people I know are just microdosing mushrooms now.
Yo, man, dude. I started doing that a little bit because my brother got some from a doctor, which is just crazy.
Awesome.
Oh, it's fucking unbelievable. It's like in a vial. I guess there's some other shit in it, but I started taking it like 2 weeks ago. I don't feel anything yet, but my brother, I swear, like he took it for like a month. He seems way different in a good way. I'm like he seems like the type of dude that can do the 12 o'clock open mic and get up at 7. Like he has the energy. And I was like, dude, I need to get some of this mushroom shit.
No, I've heard that like it really does like kind of like mess with the brain chemistry a little bit to make it so like you're a little bit more energetic. You're a little bit like it kind of makes
a little less anxiety.
Anxiety and depression subside a little bit,
dude.
And I mean, I'm all for it.
I want to try it, man. And if it goes, Compass Industries, guys, look up Compass Industries. That's the company.
Okay.
You can buy if you want. I don't do stocks or. My brother's like, I think it'll change his life. He's like, we got to put it all in the Compass Industries. The mushrooms can change the world.
Put it all.
And I'm like, maybe it could. I don't know, man. But it's changed a lot, man. Because so you seem like your parents were kind of chill with the weed. My parents, I was like really afraid if I got caught, you know what I mean? Because my mom was like, my dad didn't give a shit, but my dad also was like, if my mom like was mad, he'd be like, it's your mom, you know what I mean? It's like cool dad, you know what I mean? So it was like a big deal just having to go home stoned and not have anyone find out about it. Like, because my brother got caught and he got sent to a camp.
No shit.
He got sent to a camp for fucking weed, which was so stupid. It was this one called Outward Bound. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't.
Dude, Outward Bound will change his life for the worse. He's like, it's like he went he got like a jaywalking ticket and like was sent to San Quentin or some shit. Like it was like one of those like he had to like learn to like fit it because everyone else there like blowing up like their parents' car.
Yeah.
Juvie and shit. But sorry, a little more context. Outward Bound, because if you guys have heard this place, you'll know what I mean. But like, there's this Werner Herzog documentary about death row, and this guy like killed like 20 people. He was like the worst thing that I ever had to go through was Outward Bound. He was on death row, and he still couldn't shut up about Outward Bound. But yeah, it's just basically it's this place you go out
just
to.
making criminals. Yeah,
basically it's making. He probably was there when my brother was there. I have no idea. But they make you go out here with all these psychopaths, and then you just have to like carry canoes on your back for like a month or 2 months or something. But I think what was was dangerous about it was there was no real supervision. Like there was just kind of one guy, and he'd have to leave every day and like go get food or whatever at base camp, and everyone was kind of alone.
Oh, okay.
So it just kind of became like Lord of the Flies. People were getting pushed into like the poo latrine, and like pieces of wood kept
Inmates
over.
running the asylum type shit.
100%. Yeah, butter knives were pulled. Someone brought acid. You know, people were tripping balls. And,
Fucking A, man.
I mean, now it sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know.
Bit,
I'm kind of making it sound like a blast.
I get the danger aspects of it too.
Somehow, it like really fucked him up. I think what it is more just the danger aspect of the nature danger.
Yeah.
If you look up Outward Bound deaths, there's been like 40 kids that have died. Because it's always
dude,
like
I need to look this place up.
It's fucking gnarly because a dude blows up a tractor and then they put him on like the highest peak in Colorado and they're like, all right, just hike this shit. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna learn your lesson. He dies.
Jesus Christ.
That's why that Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog was like, I have to keep this in a documentary. Something strange about this Outward Bounds. So anyway, man, that was like, you know, that's why I'm thinking weed edibles. Taking the weed edible, studying for the history test, knowing that if it goes wrong, I'm going to Outward Bound was probably I'm kind of bringing this down. I feel like that was probably what caused this.
No, I'm sure, dude. Like now that I know that part of the story, I would be freaking the fuck out too. Like you're sitting there with your mom, and she's like, "All right, so the Roman Empire," and you're just like, "Fucking play it cool, man."
Yo, it's about to get quizzed, and then if
cool, man,
don't fuck up, man. You're gonna study in the woods. Dude, imagine if you had to take like a math test and it's like, all right, you're either going to go to jail for 20 years or you can tell me about who invented the hot air balloon. You have 3 seconds. And you're high on edibles. God damn. So now when I smoke weed as an adult and where it's legal now too in California, bro, there was no anxiety. I think a lot of it was just like they talk about when you're tripping on like shrooms or whatever. It's like the situation or like the scenario. You know?
Yeah.
But here's the flip side of that coin too. I think a lot of people fall in this category. You have to smoke weed all day or kind of only smoke by yourself or at night. That's kind of how I was, because if I smoke weed all day, I basically just burn out the synapses in my brain to where weed doesn't really affect me.
Yeah,
I smoke weed like a cigarette. Like I'll be like, even after this, I'll be like, that was a good podcast, man.
No, my wife's the same way, to be honest. Like she can smoke all day and I will never see a change in her mannerisms or mood or anything like that.
It feels like you're superhuman at first, because I used to never be. I was the guy like having a panic attack during the history test, and now I'm just like, yeah, I feel like Snoop Dogg, man. I'm smoking a blunt, like nothing's changed, and I'm doing some stand-up. Like, this is great. But I realized, I'm like, no, my synapse, I'm just burnt out. Like, there's no more receptors there anymore. And if I was to take a break for even like 3 days, which I'm going to have to eventually, because I will just die if I smoke this much pot, because I'm smoking an ounce a week easily. Dude, I smoked like 8 grams in the last like 3 days. Like, just fucking rolling up. Just fucking...
Well, I mean, just like a couple weeks ago, I had Brian Blank on here, and he's the same way. He's like, he's like 12 blunts a day.
Weed.
He's like 12 blunts a day is like my average. He's like, because we were talking about because.
It's not normal, but it's become normal down here.
Being like, I have an 11-year-old daughter. She's very fucking nosy. So all we have at my house are like wax pens because they're concealable. They don't really smell. And I was talking to him about that. He's like, I don't really fuck with that. He's all, but I do smoke like 12 blunts a day. And I was like, oh, okay.
He has the blunts too, man. Yeah. Blunts, man, they are so good. I have a blunt wrap in my backpack. But I just found it there like yesterday. But it's been there for weeks. I try not to do the blunts too often, man. It's just like,
I mean, dude, the blunts. I like blunts. I like the feel of them and everything. But also, it's just like you go too hard on that, and then you have like the tobacco paper, and then it's just like your lungs and your throat, and
my throat hurts a lot.
Yeah, dude, it fucks with you, dude.
No, I'm like damaging my body a lot. I mean, like, dude, let's just get into it, because a lot of people I feel like not everyone is open about the side effects of smoking heavy weed every day. I'm like, man, like my brother got like a fucking like a cyst on his tongue.
No shit.
Smoking so much pot to the point where then he was like, I'm just gonna eat edibles. And he's like eating edibles all day. He's like, I'm like, maybe you should stop. He's like, no, man, this is like keeps me mellow. I'm like, this is wild. So he's eating the edibles. The only thing with edibles though is like they really fuck you up. So he started like kind of like losing like his memory a little bit. He couldn't like remember certain words, and it's like, man, like you're just gonna have to take a break, bro. And he finally did. He took a break for 30 days, and now it's all fine. But it's like you just have to remember with weed, like it's not tea. it's not. It's you. It's a dude. I'm on a psychedelic pretty much all day.
Yeah.
For 4 years.
Yeah, you end up you end up talking like Macaulay Culkin's like Walkman thing where when he turns it on slow motion and just like credit card.
I know, and I'm really scared because sometimes I'll laugh now and I'll be like, I'm like, I didn't used to laugh like that.
It's like, why is it changing?
It's changing me. Yeah, I'm like, this is bad. I shouldn't be this much of a stoner, but God. Something about it, man. I don't know. Life's been good though. Overall, life has been good. The last few years, like overall, I thought maybe I'd smoke this much pot and like I'd wake up to like 12 McDonald's bags around my bed or some shit.
Carnage.
The carnage. But so far, it's like, man, like I said, I'm still getting up pretty early. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What are you doing? What you're just at night. That's what I need to do. I need to be a nighttime guy.
Me. Like that's
normal.
And the thing is too is like. Okay, so when quarantine first hit,
okay,
yeah. and I had no choice but to be at home, and I'm a person who like I've been working a lot for a long time in my life,
yeah,
and so now it's just like I have basically put the brakes on my life.
I hated it.
I hated it. Couldn't stand it.
Mind.
So I actually started smoking weed all day long.
Just as a distraction.
As a distraction. And I actually built up that tolerance and I was doing just fine. And I was, it felt so fucking cool, dude. I felt so fucking cool because I was like, dude, I'd like look at my wife and be like, hey, I'm going to go to the grocery store. Let me hit that pen really quick. And she'd be like, and she'd look at me.
Fun and work.
She'd look at me and she'd be like, are you sure? And I'm like, got this.
Yeah, you just feel like, man, I can have fun all day and live my life. It's one of those things. I think addicts think the same way though too. Like I can do cocaine all day now. I got my thing.
We absolutely do because for a long time I was the biggest fan of Percocets.
Oh, dude.
And that was me. It was just
Oxys or just perks?
Both.
Yeah. Because Oxys, man, dude. When those were back in the man, are people still doing those? Because listen, back in the day, there was none of this fentanyl.
I think they're the hardest thing to find now, like actual.
They're probably not even real. I bet it's like a Quaalude now. Back in the day, they were going for like $30 a pop down in LA, but up in the Bay, you get them for like $7. Dude, those were everywhere, man. Yeah, the pill days were crazy back. We didn't learn about that shit.
No. Like between like 2008 and 2012, like just everyone was selling Oxys.
Everyone was on Oxycontin.
And everyone was on them. And it was just like...
Dude, everyone, like frat boys, fucking... people you would never expect because it wasn't... I just saw it as like another fucking... thing to take.
It was. That's all it was. It's just like, oh, hey, you know that you could just suck off the extended release thing and then chew it up and then get hit.
God. And the originals, the 80s. Jesus Christ.
And you're just like, dude, I'm stuck on this couch, but I feel great.
God, dude, yeah, those were so. I gotta say, man, like they were fucking fun and they tasted good too. I don't know if you ever. This is just drug addict shit, but
no, they did. They really did.
They tasted amazing, man. But
I fully agree with you. But no, yeah, I think it's just the addict way of thinking is like I can operate all day long, and actually I feel fucking invincible.
Yeah,
so come at me.
Yeah, no,
I got the answer for everything.
Well, also on Oxys too. The reason why I think I liked him initially too. Was just I didn't feel too fucked up on him.
No, yeah.
I was like, I could just go throughout my day. And then so here's the deal though. That's heroin in a pill.
Yeah.
We're dealing with marijuana, which is totally different. Because I tell
100%
myself
different.
Because I could never function taking Oxycontin all day. I'd be dead. I'd be dead if I replaced this weed with like the way that I'm ingesting it. Like it's fucking crazy. But shit, man, I don't know. I just don't want. You know what? I'm gonna be really truthful. This is all it comes down to. I just don't want to smoke pot like how I used to, where I could only smoke it alone because I'll just get too stoned.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a social activity where I can just smoke weed, continue on with the conversation. Everything's good. I'm not too high. I can get in a car. I can go home. I can go to the beach. I can get on an airplane. I can do anything. But with God, I don't even know where I'm going with this conversation. Basically, guys, just fucking, just monitor your weed habits.
Yeah,
it's
monitor,
legal out here.
Make sure you have enough money to spend on it. Make sure
that too.
You know, like because it can get.
Can you imagine how much?
Well, nowadays flour's gotten fucking cheap, but like,
But still though, if you smoke it every day,
I mean, yeah, dude, like, I mean. You could still think like, oh, cigarettes are cheap. It's $6-7 a pack, but you smoke a pack or two a day. That shit adds up over a year. But so flour, even though it's gotten cheaper, you're still fucking blowing cash.
What about drinking? You drink at all?
I honestly used to drink heavy.
Yeah.
And then when quarantine hit and I was just sitting at home with my wife and my kid, I pretty much stopped drinking altogether. Yeah, and now it's like, every once in a while, like,
dude, it's just, for me, it really puts on weight for me.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like I'm up like 15 pounds over like the last 2, maybe 3 months, just because I took, like you, I've just for some reason was not drinking. I was just smoking some weed. And then I got back into I think it was quarantine, stopping and going back to like places like Third Wheel, other comedy. I'm like, dude, I just want beer. With my friends, I want to have a couple beers. Dude, I'm putting 15 pounds on so fast, which isn't like a whole lot, but it's like, man, like, gotta be careful, man.
No, yeah, but I that's it. That's me now. Like I'm the social aspect of drinking. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm not like going home and taking a couple more shots before bed. I was doing that for a while.
Dude, I totally get it.
Like that was it was heavy for a while, but yeah, quarantine slowed me down, and now it's just like, oh yeah, I'll go have a beer with you. That's cool, and then and then it's all good, You just
have to find your reasons to drink and find your reasons when not to drink, basically, and have a reason that actually is legit. And for me, it's like, I just don't. I know I could gain 50 pounds if I kept drinking, like,
totally. And I don't need to gain 50 more pounds. I need to be able to fit in chairs and shit.
Well, I just don't like working out, so I can't do that. I'm not gonna be the guy. I mean, my dad goes on 2-hour hike and then he drinks 2 beers or 3 beers every night. He stays the same way. I can't do that. So,
All right, dude. So check this out. We've been going at this, and this has been fucking fun.
Right.
But also, this podcast does have a namesake.
Oh, let's go.
And so we're gonna go through a couple questions. It's called The Worst.
I love it.
And the whole idea is I'm gonna ask you about some of your worst experiences, and if you have a story, please holler back.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so I don't know if we might have already covered this one with the meth thing, but your worst drug experience.
Oh no, I got worse ones than that.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see. Let me think for a sec, because worst of worst. So I'll just think of one that's pretty bad. Probably bath salts.
You've done bath salts?
I have, accidentally.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, man, I did a bunch of bath salts. I was with some weird people. This kind of like weird kid from the Bay and this other girl, and we were like hanging out at the Rainbow Room. I met them there.
Fun.
Like, what am I doing? And then one of them, he had like a southern accent.
You're gonna do drugs at the Rainbow Room.
Drugs at the Rainbow Room, and he had like a southern accent, but he said he's from the Bay Area. So I was like, this guy's probably kind of sketchy,
A little bit.
Like, I don't know. He's like, hey, Dex. He's already calling me at first. It's just too friendly. He's like, come in the bathroom. I got something for you. And I was like, all right, cool. And I don't think he even knew what it was. So we both do a line. This girl does a line. I'm thinking it's just cocaine. And then within 10 minutes, I look at the girl's face, and it's starting to like contort. And she looks at me and goes, we shouldn't have done this. And I was like, oh, no, I'm about to be that person in like 3 minutes. And then things just like sped up really, really fast. I had to leave immediately. I thought I was legit dying, like sweat pouring out of my face. There wasn't anything euphoric about it. But within an hour, I was fine. I guess it was like the most uncomfortable drug experience, but it wasn't my worst one. My worst one. Okay, you want my worst one? Here we go. I one time was in a car with 2 guys, and we were smoking some crack. And
fuck yeah.
Oh, dude, it was fun. And I didn't even really like smoking crack too much or even doing coke, but like these guys just had some on them. I was like, fuck it, let's smoke some crack. So we're like passing it around. We're in a car in the city, in San Francisco. When in Rome, like whatever, man. And this cop drives by, and I was like, fuck, it's kind of sketchy. And so I like put the pipe down, and I thought everything was fine. I bring the pipe back up, and I take a big ass hit of crack. And then I look over, and the cop is now in my window.
No fuck.
And he's going like this. Like, he's telling me to roll the window down. So I'm rolling the window down. I have crack up to my gourd, and the window's down. And he's just looking at me. He's going, blow it out, blow it out. And I didn't want to blow it out because I was like panicked. I was like, but when you hold in smokable cocaine in your lungs, you're just getting higher and higher. So I fucking exit. I blow it out into his face, like just crack all in his face. I put the crack pipe under my fucking leg, and it instantly starts burning my leg. Dude, I still have a scar on my leg from the fucking crack pipe.
Fuck.
But at the moment, I'm not feeling it because I'm on like so much cocaine, and I know I'm going to jail. Like
you
it's
just
all just
held
like,
in a bunch of crack. Like you don't feel shit.
It was fucking crazy. So then, that's all happening. We're all of us are now like, people are like taking photos on their phone. There's cops like coming out of like nowhere that, they're wearing badges, like they're like undercovers and shit.
Yeah.
I think it's because we're in kind of a nice area to be smoking crack at. So if you're ever going to smoke crack, go to like a shitty place.
Yeah.
We're just like, but yeah, I mean, like let's go to the park though. You know what I mean? Because I'm just thinking like, I don't know. I treat every drug still like it's weed. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, let's go to a nice beach.
Yeah. Let's just go hang.
Let's just go hang with this crack. I don't want to like go anywhere like bad, off-putting vibes. So we get arrested. I get thrown in the paddy wagon thing, and then I go to the holding place, and then they take me down to SF County Jail. And I was there for 24 hours, got out the next day, and I was like, dude, that was like just that was the worst drug experience of my life, because I was like, listen, man, like in the grand scheme of things, I wasn't hurting nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We weren't gonna, it only lasts 10 minutes. I would have been fine to drive. I really think within an hour I would have been fine to drive. I was pulled over. The car was off. It's not a legal substance. We're all just going to get a little spun out and then go home,
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead, I had to, get burnt on my leg and thrown in the San Francisco County Jail, which fucking sucks, too. It's my first time going to jail.
Yeah, dude, fuck
or
that.
Or only time going to jail, actually. You ever been to jail?
Yeah, I have. It sucks.
Fucking jail sucks. It made me learn my lesson, though. That's the one thing I will say. Because, like, now I guess you can get caught with, like, $1,000 of meth and, like, you just get like a ticket or something.
Which is fucking wild how things have changed.
Crazy, man.
All right, dude. Worst sexual experience.
Oh, that's another good one. God, I should have thought of these. All right, let me think. Oh no, because I have so many bad ones. Okay. Oh god. All right, yeah, I'll do this one. All right, cool. So oh man. Okay, yeah, okay, fuck it. I'll do this. Yeah, this one was wild. So I was just having like a rough night. I think I just bombed at an open mic, right?
Okay.
And I was feeling kind of lonely. I didn't have a girlfriend, I was fucking like, fuck, I just felt like frustrated. I'm back in my house. I'm living with my brother. I'm on the computer and I'm just like, I'm on Tinder. I'm just like fucking like trying to make a connection basically, with anyone. So I start talking with this girl. She starts talking back to me and she's like, let's go on Skype. And I'm like, cool. Cause it's 2 a.m. I don't give a shit anymore. I just want to let's do something. Make my life interesting right now because I'm bored. And we start talking, and something seems kind of off just with her language, how she's talking. She's like just kind of like it felt kind of robotic, but I didn't notice it at the time. This will come back later. But basically, she starts taking her clothes off like pretty fast too. It's like, now I have you on, and she had an accent a little bit too. It's like, no, I have you on Skype. Let's go. And then she starts taking her clothes off, and he's you too. And I was like, all right, let's just go. I made a split decision in that moment. I'm like, we're gonna do it, and I did it. I pulled my pants out, pulled my dick out, and started masturbating with her on the Skype. And within like 2 minutes, no, maybe even less. Maybe it was like 10. I think it was like 10 seconds. It was so fast. The screen flips around. And she's showing me a video of me masturbating. And I'm like, I don't know. I still didn't understand. And then she said, give me $1,000 or else I'll send it to all your friends and family. And I still didn't believe her at this point. But I think because of my Skype with my email, she was able to like find my Facebook. And there was like a video of me jerking off in the lower right-hand corner.
Yeah.
And the rest of the screen was just my Facebook. And she was like clicking like random friends who she was going to send it to. Woo! I tripped out so hard. I told her I was like, I'm gonna call the cops, and she was like, the person responded, "Is like, I don't care if you call Obama," and I was like, oh, this person's definitely like some foreign Russian guy.
Yeah,
it's like such a weird foreign diss.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, cool. So this is really this is dangerous.
Call your president.
Yeah, call Obama, you fucking bitch. And then I was like, all right, so I didn't have $1,000, so I closed it, and fortunately nothing happened. But that really fucked me up because like I was like. Because it happened so fast. Those are the good times to bad times that change.
When it just fucking flips you. Okay, so actually, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I remember one time I just got this random email. Okay, like it wasn't in the moment like that. I just got this email, and it was like, we have we have a video of you masturbating on camera. Like we got it through your your
what an email
your webcam, and we're going and we're gonna send we hacked your webcam. We're gonna send it to everyone you know.
Same thing.
If you don't send, I think it was like $2,500, something like that.
A lot.
Yeah, and I mean at the time I was like 25 and I was broke as fuck.
Yeah.
And all I wrote back was, send it, dude.
I had the same thought in my head. I closed it. I kind of went to bed knowing, like, I guess this is just going to be a story.
I was just like, send it, dude, because, like, I have nothing for you. So if that's real, if you really do have that video of me, just fucking send it and get it over with.
Let it rip. Yeah.
I'll be waiting for the texts and calls in the morning. Just do your thing.
Straight up.
And then I never got a response after that. So I was like, all right, cool.
I think that I do. I feel like... I thought that maybe the person would upload it just to say fuck you, but I don't think they ever. But it's out there. It is out there.
It's somewhere.
And if it ever is shown, I'll come back on the podcast. We'll talk about it again.
Dude, okay. So what's the worst thing about having a famous family member?
Oh, that's a really good question. All right, let me see. Probably the worst thing are just the freaks. So I don't have this too bad anymore, and also my dad's just the turtle man. You know what I mean? He's not like Tom Hanks or some shit.
Yeah, but your dad's pretty fucking
He's pretty fucking famous, though. So when I was younger, you get a lot of freaks coming up, like out of the woodwork, showing up at our house, like dressed as Garth, and they just like, look, the idea of it sounds kind of fun, like, it's just a fan. But when you meet these guys in person, they have like the big eyes, and like they'll be like, I drove from Arkansas for this moment. It's like, bro, like, dude, they're like so unstable. So I think that was probably the worst part. It's just and I think it sometimes comes out now. It's just I always felt like I kind of had to be a bodyguard for my dad ever since I was like 10. And there were times where like it would just be my dad, and I would just be like have to like get aggressive on the guy, because if my dad got aggressive, it's gonna look bad on him because he's a celebrity. But I'm just some kid, so I can just be like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I think that was probably like the overall worst thing. But like, dude, the benefits so outweigh it, though. Like, I swear, man. Like, I love being in comedy, having like my dad in comedy. I feel like I like kind of feel like I've like known everyone in this industry, like with stand-up at least, like my whole life. So it didn't feel ever too foreign. And I work with my dad every day, man. Like, we're doing a show right now. I can't really talk too much about it, but it's going to be on Conoco TV, and it's kind of based off of the Twilight Zone.
Oh, really?
And we're trying to have it released in January. But overall, man, like, I just hang out with my dad every day. I smoke weed. I talk shit. He doesn't give a fuck. We joke. I go on the road with him sometimes. Drink some beers. Fuck, man, that's kind of it. I'm trying to. It's a good question. I'm trying to think if I guess it's a good sign that nothing like really sticks out.
No,
but like
that's
I feel
fantastic, actually.
But I feel like, sorry, man. I just feel like I want to still like think if there's anything that really stuck out, because like I don't talk about the celebrity dad stuff too much, even to the point where like sometimes I wonder if I should change like my Instagram handle to like just be like my name or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it like wigs people
like
out.
not have the last name on it.
Yeah, because I don't even really talk about my dad on stage too much. I have a few jokes about him, but it's probably only about like maybe.
But is it like but with your act, is it like normal dad shit, or do you actually get
celebrity dad shit?
Okay.
Yeah, I address it, and I think because of just the last name, feeling kind of like, let's get the elephant out of the room. It's also it's infinite material.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it is really fun, but I just don't know. You know, this is kind of getting away from the question, but just you don't want to get too pigeonholed as like a celebrity kid, but also you are a fucking celebrity kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I don't really know, man, but I will say this. It's pretty fucking sick, man. I just think I'm happy right where I'm at, like in terms of like I'm glad like my dad isn't like Elon Musk or some shit, because I have enough of a perspective. But like, yo, Elon Musk has kids.
Yeah, and they're
the pressure. I don't know what I would do. Actually, maybe he's so big that it's like just like, dude, no one even expects anything. Like, bro, like come on. Like,
but also, could you imagine like was your dad pretty hands on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine being fucking Elon Musk's kid? I'm sure that there's 17 nannies and like, you know,
that's true. You probably don't even get to see him.
Like,
so
like,
busy.
like he probably like walks up to his kid and like, hi, son, and then just walks away.
Hello,
you know, like,
son number 2.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, how are you? You know,
the awkward handshake, like the movies.
Completely, robotic, and it's just like, all right, well, you know, I'll see you in a couple months. Dad's gonna go build a fucking robot in a rocket ship real quick.
The only thing scary about that is that's how you create an arch nemesis. That's how you create like your Darth Vader, basically.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
He might become. An
You never fucking
genius.
hold your son, and he's gonna be a baby genius that ends up.
He's gonna be
I'm gonna take
Elon
what my
brain.
dad does and use it to destroy the world.
Destroy the world because I wasn't coddled as a child. I get
You
it.
son of a bitch.
Elon, fucking figure this shit out. Listen, I understand slightly. I mean, here's the thing. My dad took kind of an L for his own career, but it was cool where, like, you know, Phil Hartman died. He got shot. And then my dad was just kind of like, fuck all this. I totally get it. Let's move up to the Bay Area and just, like, raise our kids because, like, this is just too much for kids. You know, I was friends with both. I would go out there all the time. And I didn't know the reason, like, why we were leaving LA or even why we weren't hanging out with that family anymore. But it was just like, when I got older, I'm like, yeah, man, some of that Hollywood shit's just too dark, man. Like, I got to grow up in a nice suburb in the Bay. I went to skate parks every day. I smoked weed in 8th grade. I went to house parties. I had, like, the most normal fucking upbringing. I think it's kind of sick, man. I feel like I got pretty lucky. I got to, like, bike to my friends' houses. Like, I could, like, bike to high school. It's pretty cool, man. You know?
Yeah. I would say that, like, out of anybody that I've, like, actually really talked to that's had, like, you know, even
rich family, rich dad,
dad. Like, even just a rich dad, like, just there is, like, just that
disconnect.
Yeah, exactly. A disconnect, that negative energy that they have where there's a lot of resentment towards them.
Yeah, because they didn't see him when they were growing up, and they only see them praised on TV. And it also, all your friends, you know, will be praising that person too. You know what I mean? So it can just feel weird. It's like, because, like, we all love your dad. It's like, yeah, I haven't talked to him in 10 years. Yeah, we love him.
It's like, cool. I love my dad too, but I haven't seen him.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know his middle name.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know my dad. No, actually, I do. That was a weird one. I don't know if I know my mom's middle name though. Do you know your mom's middle name?
Yeah, I know my mom's middle name.
Middle names are weird.
Yeah, no, middle names are weird. I personally
fucking hate my middle name.
Yeah, dude, I personally don't like mine because, well, I like mine, but I also don't like mine because I have 3 first names. Chad, Robert, Austin. It's like the makeup for a serial killer, dude. But also I like my middle name because my grandfather, who was like one of my heroes growing up.
Fuck yeah.
His name's Robert, and he said that if we no matter how many boys we have in this family, they all need to be named after him. And my mom was like, I'm not naming, because I already had an older cousin named Robert. And she's like, I'm not naming another kid Robert with his first name. Like, that's
too many
fucking
Roberts.
crazy.
You gotta switch
so
it out.
like we'll settle. We'll give you the middle name. And he was like, all right, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. See, I got my mom's dad's name for my middle name, which is Harry. Thank God it's my middle name.
Yeah, dude.
Harry, dude, you get. You know how it is in middle school too. I got
eaten
alive for that when people found out, like, oh, and you got Harry Lay. Oh, even man,
they're the worst jokes, but it always stings.
Hurt the hardest.
It always stings because they're just like, fuck, that's actually, because it's a part of me. It's my name, you know?
Yeah, it's me. I can't escape it.
Exactly. You know? Well, yeah, I mean, with my last name being Austin, and at the time I didn't think of it as being cool, but everybody was always like, oh, Stone Cold Chad Austin, Austin 316. And you're just like, yeah, it's actually pretty fucking dope. But when you're a kid and people are constantly doing it to you, you're like, fuck you motherfuckers. Like, I
know, man. I just didn't like the attention as a kid as much. Like, some kids love attention. I was not trying to I don't know. I just wanted to, like, do my thing and, like, fit in. It's weird. Once I, like, kind of got out of high school, I thought it was like more fun to, like, do stand up and all that shit. But, like, in high school, it was more just kind of like, I don't know, man. I definitely was not trying to, like, have everyone needs to know who my dad is, and then they'll, bring me to all the parties or some shit.
No, yeah.
And that is even how it works, though, man. You think, like, if you have a celebrity dad, you're gonna get, like, pussy, like, out, like all day, every day, get invited to all the coolest parties. It's like, dude, like, you're still just a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and if you're not cool,
then it's fucking
it doesn't matter who your dad is. They want to hang out with your fucking dad, not you.
He's not here. Yeah, as you can only tell, like, too many stories about, like, master disguise in the church lady, and it's like, if you're not, not hidden, it's fucking over. All I gotta say is this: just work on yourself and don't worry too much about. This is what I tell myself: don't worry too much about your last name and all that stuff. Just fucking
just do you. Just
do you. You have permission to be you if you want to be. That's the last part I'll say.
All right, so there's going to be one last thing. It's a section I call "Are You the Worst?" I'm going to. Basically, it is going to be a rapid fire questions, and you just give me a yes or no answer.
All right. I love it. This is a fun podcast. I like that.
Have you ever stolen from your parents?
Yes.
Have you ever lied to a girlfriend?
Yep.
Have you ever been a bully?
Yep.
Have you ever cheated on someone?
Yep.
Have you ever worn Crocs?
No.
Have you ever worn cargo shorts?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had frosted tips?
No.
And have you ever used the "do you know who I am" thing?
Oh, yeah. I can tell you a story about that. All right, I have one really. Okay. This one's so embarrassing. Holy fuck. All right, so this is all real what I'm about to tell you. All right, so I was dating this rich girl in college, like really rich. Like this girl was like, I've never seen, like, you know what I mean? Like her parents own like some sort of like clothing brand.
It's one of those things where it's like, you can own that?
Yeah, just like, dude, listen, man, like I grew up around some affluence, but like not, I don't know, man, when you meet like a real like rich person, it's just like multiple houses type of thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just crazy. So anyway, she lived next to, she had a house in Beverly Hills, or maybe her parents did. She went to college, but she had that house that was empty in the summer and we could crash up there, which was fucking sick.
That's dope.
And she lived next to Seth MacFarlane. So I was already geeking out the whole time, like, holy fuck, Seth MacFarlane's right there. Like I was always like peek over the fucking like fence a little bit, you know, like not creepily, but kind of far away from it. Like,
Stewie, you son of a bitch.
So then she tells me, because she's British, she's like, Dex, I found out Seth MacFarlane sent me an envelope saying that he's having a party tonight and all the neighbors invited. And then I'm like, great, that's awesome. So I was somehow involved in that because I was dating the girl. So I'm like, I'm a neighbor, so I'm going to the Seth MacFarlane party. Fuck yeah. So then like I'm ready to go. It's late at night and we get there. I'm only 20 at the time.
Okay.
She has a fake ID. We get called out by these guys at the front. They're like, we need to see your ID. She has a fake ID. She gets let in. They see. I say I don't have my ID, and they won't let me in. And that's when the desperation came.
Oh, fuck.
Because I was like, all right, I'm not losing right yet.
You start digging.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, so this is the story I came out with on the spot, which says a lot about me as a person, whether it's good or bad. I go, do you know who Dana Carvey is? And they go, yeah. I go, he's up there in the party. I haven't seen him in like 5 years. I really need to talk to him. Like I heard he was here, and they let me in.
No shit.
They let me in. I like did a sad story. I was like, I just need to talk to him for a second. All right, man.
My dad.
Cool. I showed him my ID at the last name. Yeah. All to get into Seth MacFarlane's birthday party.
No,
and it was
fucking
totally
way.
Worth it. They had a big band in the back, like playing the Family Guy shit. I was like, woo! He isn't even here. So anyway.
Holy shit, dude.
That was the one time I flexed it, but it had to be a sad story. So it wasn't really, do you know who I am? It was like, you're a part of a beautiful story.
Dude, that's fucking fantastic. Okay, so I just want to say that I had so much more shit, but this breezed by so fast that we have to do it again.
We can go again. It was fun.
So we'll have to do it again soon.
All right.
Dex, thank you for being here.
No, thank you, man. It was a blast.
Is there anything you want to plug? I know you have a show coming up, right?
Yeah, man. Whoever's listening to this, please come out Sunday to Third Wheel at 8 p.m. We do every week called the Brick House Comedy Show. And it's just a bunch of cool LA comics that gets you on just doing their thing. We're just trying to build it up. And if you can follow me on Instagram at Dex Carvey, I post goofy little sketches on there, and that's about it.
They're fun sketches. Yeah, follow Dex. Once again, this has been The Worst. You're hopefully already following me. If not, it's weird. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Dex. All right, we're out.
Boom.